Hello Blood Bowl fans and hello members of the ICBBL, as this is an ICBBL video. I don't know why I've started doing this, the hello ICBBL, hello Rebel thing, but never mind. We're on for another Wood Wars, this time against the Australian coach, Voxen. And this ended up being a luck of the dice style because I'm playing Chaos Dwarves and he's playing Norse. It just happens to be that they're the two teams that we had within range of each other. It wasn't set up necessarily this way. And we're in his stadium, Valhalla, with a team from Valhalla. And they are singing Bananas in Pajamas. And the Chaos Dwarves are singing Bull in a China Shop. It's kind of what it feels like when you're punching Norse. He's breaking plates, sometimes. I'm surprised he was up for this matchup, to be honest, because it's very difficult to have a good game of Norse against a Dwarf side, because everything that Norse has in their favour is kind of counteracted by any kind of Dwarf. But he did, so let's see how it goes. Voxen's a good coach, so not worried about that. Coin flip goes the way of the Chaos Dwarves, and Chaos Dwarves decide to receive. With 3 strength 4 plus pieces, well, 2 strength 4, 1 strength 5, I have some immense strength advantages against Voxen here, and I'm going to use them especially to pick up the ball. Some people are afraid to use the bull center as ball carrier for some reason, but it's a strength 4 piece, it's pretty hard to get down. So why wouldn't you? I'm also testing out a couple of tactics with Chaos Dwarfs, especially in defense. They're obviously supposed to be one of the top defensive teams, so trying to put that to use. But we're on offense at the moment, so we need to make a strong offense first. And if we can knock out a couple of Norse in the first half, then this game should go very well for us. In theory. And a high kick's a good start. Cerebrum can go right for it. And right for it he does. Bed fumbles the ball. That's fine. Alright, I go for quite an aggressive opening, but I don't want to be too far out of position, so the Hobgoblins are going to be the backbench, basically. Voxen isn't exactly a quickly come forward coach either, so I don't mind putting a bit of pressure on him early on. And punching his Ulf in the face. Well, kicking his Ulf in the face. Hoofing his Ulf in the face. Oh no, it is a punch. Okay. And immediate KO. That's pretty huge. That's a good start for Chaos Dwarfs. And a bad start for the Norse. And the second punch leads to a stun on a lineman. Yeah, that's a rough opening for Voxen. And we pick up the ball. Not sure I wanted to do that so early. But we move into the middle and take no more blocks. Let Voxen roll the dice. Immediately goes for 1 die with Zerka. That gives him a 2 die on the Dwarf though, so not so bad. And 1 die is pretty safe with Norse, it's kind of what you want to do. If you want to think of Norse in any way, they're like... They may take what Voxen said actually, they're like elves, but you roll 1 die blocks instead of rolling dodges. That was a pretty good description. I like that. Sorry. He was very eager to punch my Minotaur, and I don't know if that helped him much in the game, because it always meant that he had so many pieces locked up. I'm quite happy for him to punch my Minotaur all day. So now he has 5 stuck on the line. I can just put things back into position here, and Cerebrum runs around. Probably this way. I don't wild animal, which is pretty useful. More than pretty useful, it's very useful. And I got a hobgoblin as well that can come and lock these two up, along with this dwarf here. Close up the gap so there's fewer of them. And punch a Zerka. Punching a Zerka doesn't help me. It does mean though that I can push forward over here. That's a pretty big gap here, don't really know why. That was pretty poor positioning really. But Cerebrum is still well out of the way at least. Clarkson very quickly repositions his team to get a couple of 2-dies. Well, a 2-die on the dwarf and a 1-die on the Minnow if he wants to take it. And has to reroll with the Ulf, that's good news. And push me to the edge. Not too worried about that. Ulf is well out of position, so fine with that. And he can actually get a 1-die on Cerebrum, which is bad news for me. Bad positioning, but he doesn't actually. He focuses on the Minotaur instead. Ooh, not sure about that. A 1-die breakthrough with the Bull Center now. And even with the Minotaur stunned, I can still move into a much better position. Yeah, failing a GFI is pretty hard on him. We'll take the 1-die in the same way against the Ulf. It works in the exact same concept as it does for Norse in general. It's safe enough, so we'll take it. We'll block. By pushing the runner out that way, Halfhorn can come back here and lock up these two pieces. Yeah, they get a 1-die block on him, but it means that Cerebrum can punch and get out of the way. Should have followed there, don't know why I didn't. Would have got one more space, could have helped me a little bit. Still a risky position, and have to reroll a skull, which is a shame. Still a risky position, but the only piece he can really move onto Cerebrum here is this piece on the floor, which gives him a half-die punch. Otherwise he has to dodge. Don't know why I didn't follow there. Ah, so I don't get served. That's why I didn't follow that. Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. Push is good. That means he's not getting these pieces free. He has to spend one more piece doing punching. But he moves the Minotaur out of the way. And the Minotaur's cute how he just rolls on the floor. Oh. He does get his 1-die on the ball carrier. And 1-die is great, it's a power. The ball is in a good position though. And focusing quite hard on getting me to the edge here, which is actually moving his team out of position. Though it was the easier block. And the Hobgoblin, yeah, good enough. Hobgoblin stunned, not so bad for me at this point really. Could be worse, could be better though. And the skull is great. That was the best thing that could happen to me. Probably just going to pick the Bull Center up here. I don't really need to take the ball this turn. Just make it hard for him to get the ball. Buy some time. I have plenty of turns. And the Minotaur's going to punch the Zerka with a push, which is pretty much what I wanted, because I want the Minotaur here. But here will do. That was perfect rolling, actually. push the other piece out of the way and get the dwarf off the line by punching the runner back to where he was. Hobgoblin further secures the bull. And we punch down the lineman. This is a mistake I see a lot of coaches making. I can get the ball if I really, really want to, but I have to take a lot of risks to do so. It's much better to position myself in a way that if he goes for the ball, he's not going anywhere. And that's what I do very often when I'm playing, actually. And if he's rolling a lot, like now, eventually he's going to make a mistake. And when he makes a mistake, I can capitalize on it. That was a pretty hard mistake, though, with the 2 skulls there. Didn't really deserve that. And we have our first injury. If they come thick and fast, that's bad news for Voxen. If he just has a couple, he can recover. Now we can pick up the bull, with both bull centaurs and the minotaur on there. Even if I do fail it, which I do, it's probably going to scatter quite well, but I am going to reroll the pickup because there's a space that I can utilize here with the goblin. I'll push these 2 pieces out of the way, so they're not going anywhere near the hobgoblin this turn. And we'll send the other hobgoblin up in support, because the most likely piece getting out is one of these 2. So hobgoblin's going to go here somewhere. And the runner's going to come, which is fair enough. And the 1 die is not really good enough, just gets a push. And a follow-up, but that's not going to help him. Got a good chance of breaking out of that. Not really too difficult. Bull Centaur locks up the Ulfarina, making it harder for him to punch that dwarf out of the way. And the other Bull Centaur comes in support against the runner, and he is going to lock him up so the runner has to run around. Should have followed there. Why didn't I follow? Okay, I didn't follow, but still, you can't get through easily, that's for certain. And could have taken the score here, to be honest, because I left the gap. Should have taken the score here, but I do get to stall 1 more turn. I didn't really pay attention to my positioning. Not following up with the Bull Centaur was a big mistake there. And Minotaur KOs Norse Warrior, which is good news. We lock up these last 2 and try and do a little bit of damage right at the end. A little bit of damage we do, another lineman is KO'd. And the cat wants to go out. Of course he does. So yeah, not following up with the Bull Centaur was a big cost here. I have no idea why I didn't follow up, but he can just run straight through the gap and take out the ball handler. Which he does, with a pow. And ball goes off the pitch. Which is slightly bad news. And another skull. We're getting quite a few skulls at this point. And blitz out to get the ball seems like the best option here. So the Hobgoblin can come in and lock up Zerka. The other Hobgoblin can stand up. Minotaur first, okay. Minotaur wild animals. I was going to blitz out the Zerka, I think. That's problematic now. Yeah, I should have just blitzed out with the Bull Centaur, to be honest. Got to stand up this Goblin. Should have done that before I did this. Stand up the Hobgoblin. Oh no, I did them both. Oh, that's awful. Stand up the Hobgoblin now. Stand up. There we go. Have to stand him up because otherwise the runner gets a free shot at the ball. And standing up works well as he fails his dodge twice. The KO was pretty disgusting, but yeah, getting him down was obviously the goal. The KO was just kind of salt in the wound there. Now my both Bull Centaurs are free, and also Hobgoblin is free. Another Hobgoblin is free if I block off the Zerka. Plenty of pieces to pick up the ball, but I'm going to use the Bull Centaur and do it in one. There we go. 1-0 to the Wooden Labyrinth. Alright then, we have a Norse out with an injury. We have 3 of the 4 KOs returning. That's good news. And my team is still full. Not to rub it in or anything. Just going to give them the goblins to punch. Another mistake I see with Chaos Dwarfs especially, they always put dwarfs on the line. I don't know why. In your defensive drive, you want the dwarves back in defense where they belong. And I put all the big guys at the front, so if he does have any intention of blitzing through, he's got some big guys to get through first. But he's going to load the line here, which is pretty bad news if he gets a riot or if he gets even a blitz, because in a position where I can just swamp him. Now here comes the kick. And riot we get. And touchback, that helps him a little bit. He has a chance to score. He has a good chance to score, actually. Alfarina runs not far enough away. This guy and this guy can get to him relatively easily, and of course the Bull Centaurs as well. Though, with the way I've set up, to make sure he doesn't do any blocks, that's actually quite bad for him getting the ball on a flank. Have to think about that next time. Okay, the Minotaur is free. For now. The Minotaur is still free. And he stays free. Perhaps it makes it a little bit difficult, so my plan is probably Minotaur onto this piece, lock up the ball. I'd be surprised if that isn't my plan. And then Dwarves come in support with a GFI. If the GFI fails, I'm in a bit of trouble, but not too much. Stand up, stand up. Didn't need to take that block. That was kind of, if it goes wrong, block, I think, but still, didn't need to take it. Punching this way. Minotaur moves one more space with a GFI. Good, and one of these two dwarves comes in support. This one. I think I could GFI to here. Yeah, but I fail it anyway. That gives Vaxen a real chance to score. We could be seeing a 1-1 at the end of the drive here. Dodge is good. Just needs the GFI. Oh no. Oh no. That's a lot of ones. That's pretty hard. And the ball takes his time getting back onto the pitch. Oh, come on. There we go. And that's the end of the first half. A failed GFI for me and a failed GFI for him. Both of them were essential, so that's pretty even at the end actually. One injured still. The runner comes back, which is hard for me. I want that runner out. He's one of the most dangerous pieces on the Norse team at all times, but this one has plus movement, so he's incredibly horrible for the Chaos Dwarf team to handle. I defend deep. But nothing's getting past me. And he keeps the line loaded. Blitz is bad news for him. Though I haven't really set up well for Blitz, to be fair. Here comes the kick. And Riot. We go back to the correct turn count. Zerka's not moving. Zerka is moving. Ooh, Zerka's doing damage. We have a KO. Oh no! Poor Hobgoblin. Ulf is moving. And now we can move the rest of the piece. What next? Is what I said when he got to that point. And he's going to go for the Minotaur again. Yeah, too much emphasis on the Minotaur, I think, this game. I actually want you to base him like this, so I'm glad that you are. He's not going anywhere this turn. Even if he picks up the ball, which he does. I can screen that quite easily. He's put 3 in the middle for me. Oh, Wild Animal's a shame though. I want the Minotaur right back there. With 1 Chaos Dwarf and we're fine. And they have to use a Chaos Dwarf or 2 to lock this up now. So we're mostly going to screen. Bull Centaur comes round as a potential sacker next turn. And this Bull Centaur is going to make a kink in the armor. I just want to wipe out his flank, that's all it's about. It was risky punching that piece because he has dodge. And I could have gone all the way to the ball. When I think about it, I should have done, but the runner can't really go anywhere safe, so overall not too unhappy with that setup. No, I should have based the ball, definitely. Yeah, he can make a gap. Minotaur Wild Animaling was a problem as well, though. Yeah, there's the gap. No, that was quite poor for me, actually, when I look at that. Made sense in my head when I did it, but it doesn't make a lot of sense now. He actually passed into space, which is interesting, to say the least, because I can get to that ball relatively simply with some big pieces that are going to be scary, and this dwarf can get here for free. Dwarf can get there for free, Minotaur can blitz there, and then it's hard to pick up the ball. Made a mistake here. I keep forgetting that runner has Dauntless, so could have basically locked up the runner better than I did. Should have moved the dwarf first, but never mind. And put him right under the ball. Dwarf comes in support as well. I hope. Yes, he does. Could have taken the one thigh and let the bull center through, actually. That would have been a better way of doing that. Though this piece stays based that way, so fair enough. Yeah, Dauntless. It's a good roll for me though, thankfully. But the Zerk is still free. That gives him a chance at the ball. Not a very good one, but a chance. And he fails to pick up with a loner, so no reroll there. Okay, dwarf stands up. Bull centaur stands up as well. Hobgoblin goes to lock up runner. Other hobgoblin goes to lock up runner. Just off, okay. Minotaur, wild animals, that's a shame. And bull centaur gets his way through with a push, which isn't good. And I'm going to have to run around. And fail the one GFI I wanted to do. That's huge. That's really bad news. Yeah, runner gets out of the way. Fails Dauntless, has to reroll, but still. Rerolls onto Minotaur. That's good enough. Learner picks up and done. Zerka punches Chaos Warrior, Learner picks up, score. Easy. Yep, there we go. 1-1. Well done, Voxen. Well played. I didn't exactly make that easy, but failing the GFI definitely helped there. It was a bad time to fail GFI. Yeah. Yeah. So knockout comes back, and knockout comes back. Got plenty of turns to score though. Just got to be careful how I do it. Voxen's only 2 pieces down, it's not as bad as it sounds. He still has a lot of pieces to cause me a lot of trouble. And Voxen's a good coach, so definitely not guaranteed to get a score back here. Probably need to wipe out another piece or two. Let's see what we do here then. So bringing the goblins to the front again, bringing the Chaos Dwarves back a little bit, not too far back though, because Chaos Dwarves can't move very far. Now we're pushing the hobgoblins forward, fair enough. Quick snap, that's good news. Everything can move into a better place. And these two. Maybe hobgoblin one way or the other. Okay. And done. Nope, hobgoblins too. Okay. And done. I'm going to use hobgoblins to lock up the Oath Baronet just because it's a low value piece, and locking up a low value piece with a high value piece is usually something I enjoy doing. Yeah, I've committed quite forward again now. Could have done that better, really. But I'm going to make a gap, and I'm just going to make a fret up on the right hand side. And Minotaur's doing good enough. Perfect, actually. Exactly where I wanted him. Now the ball. Good. Would have been quite happy to fail once. Because now I've moved here, I have to take the 1 die. That was bad positioning again. I wasn't actually counting on it working though. So Vaxon's going to block his way out of this mess. It's too hard to dodge, can't see him doing that. He needs to block that piece, which he does. And runner can run through to the ball already. Whoops, sorry. And he actually takes a blitz. Fails Dauntless, has to re-roll. It's 2 Dauntless rolls he's failed. 2 he's taken, 2 he's failed. 3 he's taken, 2 he's failed, sorry. Yeah, overall I've been pretty disappointed when I play in this match actually. I thought I played better than I did when I was actually playing, but looking back at it, I haven't really played that well. But you learn as you play. That's the point. That's actually the point of Luck of the Dice as well, playing teams that you're not particularly comfortable with and making them work. KO on the Zerk is pretty big. Helps me a lot at this point, means I can blitz out relatively safely to this kind of area. Probably not there though. There would have been better. Oh yeah, I wanted the handoff, but I blitzed. That's why I did that. It's poor planning. Really should have taken the block against that piece as well. Don't know why I didn't. Vaxon and I actually had a game before this as well, where we played Khemri against the same Norse team, and we got a little bit diced, so we decided to rematch it. We were going to go Khemri again, but my Khemri were too high in TV. Well, that's problematic. I need to put down this piece, and then I need to put down this piece. I need to put this piece down with a 1 die block from the Hobgoblin with these two's help. 1 die block, blitz, run. That's good. Anything but a push. Damn. Damn. Not going anywhere. De-risk the dodge is the only option really, though when I look back at that, yeah, could have not dodged. I was talking to Vaxon about it. Vaxon said dodge was necessary, but I don't think it was really, to be honest. I'm going to get punched anyway, but you have to roll the dice that way, not me. And that's the end of my scoring opportunity with that stun. Can't score, can only do damage now, and do a crazy pass. Reroll because why not? They have a reroll, so may as well use it. And double skull. And that's the end. 1-1. Yeah, I didn't play well that game at all. Some things were good. My positioning overall, I think, was mostly fine, though I went way too far forward a couple of times. The defensive positioning was, all in all, relatively okay. If I didn't fail at GFI, I don't think Vaxen's scoring. There was a chance for Vaxen to go 2-1. Well, go 1-1 earlier, so it would have ended 2-1. Yeah, could have played that a lot better. Gonna have to work on Chaos Dwarfs a bit, I think. So, 1 touchdown, 8 armor breaks, and MVP on a lineman who is injured. 1 touchdown, 12 armor breaks, and MVP on Avatar, who is not injured. We got an 8 for the Norse, and 12 for the Chaos Dwarfs. And we had 2 level ups in the match. We'll have a look. I don't usually do this for wood, but I'm going to have a look quickly. I took Mighty Blow on Bull Centaur number 1, just to give me that little bit of extra punch. Could have taken Block first, but it's easier to level him with Mighty Blow. Definitely didn't take Break Tackle. That is a much later level up. And we took Guard on Avatar. We're going to take Guard on all 6, I think, when I have all 6. I also bought the Apothecary finally. So, that's it for this Wood War. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Vaxen, for the game. And I'll see you all on the pitch soon. Bye-bye for now.